Good evening once again, and welcome to the March edition of the Digital Eye series, um, our monthly edition. Um, we're thrilled to have you here. The Digital Eye series is proudly hosted by Legacy Lab, a social media digital innovation hub that offers technology and innovation infrastructure to create a dynamic ecosystem of opportunities for the youth. Our mission is to empower the youth for success in the digital era. All our vision is to create an inclusive ecosystem for the next generation of innovators and entrepreneurs. And this evening, we are happy to have with us, to have you guys here with us, and to discuss one thing that is very, very key in human endeavor, which is consistency. And today we are privileged to have Benjamin Israel here to give us insight into how he builds trust while still figuring out life. Um, this is key. This is essential to every every youth out there, and I believe that is going to be beneficial to everyone on this call this evening, and for those who will be listening after. So without wasting much time, I welcome Mr. Benjamin Israel to take it away. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Legacy Lab, and thank you very much uh, for everyone participating in today's meeting. And once again, my name is Benjamin Israel, and I am uh, currently the managing leader of TechUpXU, and I run Benchbox. And I'm still a student, and I'm in my final years, and at the same time, like I said, I lead a tech community and I also run a design studio, Benchbox, and I'm still figuring things out. So this is not a talk from someone that has figured everything out already. I'm also someone that I'm actively in it, trying to balance things, adjusting, trying things, feeling, failing, fixing, and also showing up. And the biggest thing helping me so far really isn't like talent. It's not even the clarity. It's consistency, which we are talking about this evening. And people talk a lot about talent. We admire people like Cristiano Ronaldo, Michael Jordan, and the likes. And yes, they are talented, but if we really study them, what stands out is not just talent, it's discipline, it's the repetition, it's the standard that they set. And this is quite the definition of consistency. It Their baseline is effort. They didn't show up only when they feel like it. They didn't show up because uh, they are motivated to do so, but they show up because it is who they are. And that make me rethink something that maybe the real advantage is not really the talent. Maybe it is consistency. Maybe it is the ability to show up. Maybe it is setting the standards that you're setting, the system you're putting in place. So um personally, I don't start with clarity because when I started out, I didn't really have everything figured out. I didn't have the time. I didn't have the direction. I didn't have the money. I didn't have energy. And right now, I'm still in school and I'm doing all these things that I'm doing. And the truth is, there's always uh, something that is not yet figured out at any stage that you are at whatever you want to do. There is always something that is not yet figured out. So you have an option. It's either it's either you it's either you wait or you do it regardless. So I had to make a decision early. Do I wait till everything makes sense, or do I keep moving while it doesn't? And because if you wait for clarity, you will wait a very, very long time. And so I just choose to keep showing up, not perfectly, not always confident, but consistently. And that began to change how people see me. So not because I'm the best, not because uh, uh I'm talented, but because I'm reliable. So today we're talking about how I build trust with the ability to show up every time with consistency. So um along the way I might be sharing a personal story, but let me say this clearly. Hardworking is is not a personal trait. It's something it's not something you are born with. It's something that you design. It's something that you learn. It's how you structure your time. It's how you manage distraction. It's how you deliver when you don't feel like it. Because the truth is, motivation is very, very unreliable. I've been in that shoes multiple times. You wake up today and you feel kumbaya, and the next time you just feel like, can the day come to an end? And and if your progress depends on how you feel, you will be inconsistent. So instead of chasing motivation, I focus on building a system. So um, my system is simple. So it's this point um I'll be digressing a little bit into my personal story. Um, when I came into school in 100 level, when I was in 100 level, had the opportunity to serve at the SCG as an 100 level student, as the special assistant to the SCG president then, without knowing anybody, without um uh having any connect before entering school. So and people always asking questions like how do you do it? How do you uh uh get yourself into the SCG at 100 level, a new student, even before matriculation? And that was the first time I had the opportunity to understand the results consistency brings and what actually happens if you put things in place, if you set structures, if you um manage distractions. And I could remember then I I don't even know tech hubs to then. I've not joined any tech community. I'm just a solo guy. So if that's the word, yeah, solo guy. So then I remember always going to R35, particularly R35. Everyone that knows me knows that that was my sport. So then R35, I always go there, um, sit on my PC, walk. Sometimes sleep in the hall, in the lecture theater. Sometimes come back. I sometimes go home, but I don't have anything else I'm doing with my time. I just sit down. Sometimes I feel like, oh, should I just rest today? I still show up. Showing up necessarily doesn't mean, in my own case, doesn't mean coming online, posting today, posting tomorrow, posting next tomorrow. It's to me, consistency and showing up means doing your talent well, what you know how to do best, doing it well, doing it every time, showing up every time. Let them know you with something. So then, uh, I always stay around that 30, use the school's Wi-Fi, use internet, stay on my PC every time from lecture theater, come back to the place, from class, come back to the place, from any engagement I find myself in school, I come back to the place. And I I I was releasing graphics on campus because I was like, okay, I want I was walking around campus and I'm like, all these designs are not really it. I can change what design looks like on campus. Then I started dropping designs and then I got the attention of some of the SUG aspirant then that I did graphics for and I believe you can still hear me. I My internet went off.
Okay.
All right. So like I said, back to my personal story. Then I was always dropping graphics on campus, dropping graphics. That I reached a particular point that in my 200 level, I started doing design for every aspirant that are campaigning, both the opposition and the content, everybody. I became the arsenal of good design. So there is low chances that you want to contest on campus as SUG anything, and you will not come and meet bench box. So that was the first time I experienced. That was the first time I experienced the results consistency can bring you, because then, as still a 200 level, I knew how much I was making. I knew how much I was still making, and then I had to realize that, okay, if I can continue staying consistent, because I know I'm not the only good designer on campus. I know I'm not the only one good at what I can do, design, anything, media. I know I'm not the only one. I see a lot of them in churches, I see a lot of them in fellowship. But what made me become like to a particular level, I can say a figure that you need to consult before running any design for your campaign on anything. So then I show up, I deliver, I stay visible. I show up even when I don't feel ready, even when my designs then are not perfect. Me showing up, me not disappearing, made people trust me, made people uh um re- gave me the credibility. Yeah. So, and because once you disappear, you reset your trust, you reset the credibility you've built over time. And in any space, tech, design, leadership, trust is everything, because people are in the real world, people are really like banking their money. You banking or doing business with their money. So people don't want to say, okay, because he knows he has the talent. If he doesn't have credibility, nobody's paying you, nobody's giving you their added money. So one thing, like I said, people don't give opportunity to the most talented people. They give opportunity to the most reliable people, most reliable person. That's who they give opportunity to. So you may be more talented than me. You may be even smarter than me. But if you're not inconsistent, you will lose to someone who is consistent. And that has been like a personal core, a personal ideas that I have, that I would never let anybody um work harder than me, in in the sense that I would always show up to the best I can. I find it as my competitive advantage, regardless of how smart I am, how talented I am. I've discovered that consistency gives you more credibility, gives you the trust, and makes you reliable. And I learned that people, like I said, do business with the most reliable person. They don't just um um give opportunity to because someone is the most talented person, like I said. So uh every time you show up, people notice. That's one thing I understand. People remember, people start to trust you, and that trust open doors. So so I'm still figuring things out, and there's no moment where suddenly everything is clear. But one thing I'm sure of is I don't wait to become ready. I I become consistent instead, and that consistency builds trust. That same trust that got me into every opportunity on campus. That's the opportunity that got me into some particular offices in AKT. Same trust that open many opportunities. Uh, it is that consistency that build it. It's that consistency that build the trust. It's that consistency that create the opportunity. And that gives me an advantage. That gives me the edge I don't naturally have, and that is why I call it consistency as my competitive advantage, because it is something you have to learn. Consistency is something you have to um teach yourself. You have to. It's not something you're born with. So if you would um win any competitive race, if you would be the best in what you're doing, what you can just add to your skill is consistency. And the definition of consistency, like I wrote here on my journal, means the meaning of consistency I wrote here in my journal means the skill to achieve a level of performance you- that that does not vary in quality, which means certain structure to get a particular predictable goal. So so uh back to my notes. Back to my notes. So like I said, I was so fast. So like I said, I've covered the phrase of you may be more talented than me, and you may be more smarter, but if you're not consistent, you lose to someone that is consistent than you. And if there's anything I would want us to take away um from today's session is the truth that you don't necessarily need to be the best, even though it's needed, but you need to be the most reliable, showing up, learning, practice make perfect, which even makes you the best, which uh uh makes you not lose to someone. It is consistency. So um my 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 uh final remark uh final remark I didn't wait to become ready, like I said. I became consistent instead, which uh brought me to where I am today. So thank you very much for today's session. It's nice having you, and I'm sorry it's so quick. Thank you very much. So if there's any question I can take them, I'm still around.
Good evening. I think, Doc, are you still here?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much. That was a really wonderful one. I just, I think I just have a question. The question is, can you just maybe say something about the structure you maybe created around being consistent? Even as per being, as at from being an undergraduate, there are usually, should I say, there are some roadblocks like the inconsistency of light, sometimes the odors of academic engagement and all of that. So can you just say something about the structure that you built around being consistent? Because there are a lot of persons who most times fell off, and like from your point now, as you highlighted that consistency is your competitive advantage. So how were you able to stay like the structures rather that you built around it? Thank you.
Uh, Thank you very much, and that's a very good question. And so back to this kind of structures that I set, the kind of system that I set as an undergraduate. So first thing I learned to understand is uh there is no multitasking. Real. If you want to if you have a goal, you have to shoot at it. So uh I understand the ability to start some things. I understand the ability to um organize my time, avoid distraction. And like I said, I don't have friends. But this might not work for everybody. This might not work for everybody. But I know what I want. I know what I was chasing. So I instead I always move from home at 35 classes, sometimes classes. So from there to church, because I was serving in the media team in church also then. So I always make sure that every free space I have, I'm doing what I know how to do best. I'm doing the talent I'm pushing. I'm doing the skills I want people to recognize me for as the best designer. I'm pushing it. So I don't have the time for recreational activities, which is very sad. Um, I don't have friends that we go to fit to play ball, and that's very sad. I didn't enjoy my social time. So, like I said, but if you know what you're chasing, if you know what you want, if it's academic excellence, if it is you put yourself in that space more and more at every opportunity you have. So in the case of light, in the case of Nigeria situation, I understand that complaints cannot change anything. So I put in my inbuilt skill of calculating, checking when NEPA will bring light, calculating, okay, yesterday they brought it for 5 hours, today they brought it for 5 hours. Okay, there's big chances tomorrow the light will last from this time to this time. Oh, internet, this time to this time. So I'm always kind of good at prediction based on the way um the way performances of NEPA, performances of the internet has been before that time. So I always use these things to guide my scheduling, guide my timing, and every free time I have, like I said, I don't use it to play anywhere. I do what I want to know how to do best, what I want people to regard me to best. So, which is every single time I have, every free time I have, casually, intentionally, I stay logged in. So that's my own system. It might not work for everybody because not everybody wants to kill their social life. Not everybody wants to um stab church sometimes. Not everybody wants to do that. So, but these are just realistical things that I do to remain um on the edge. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful. Sorry, maybe the last question I would like to ask. No, no, not like to ask. Should we say now that sometimes if we as a person want to get a thing done, or we want to attain a level of mastery or greatness, it has to be that some part of our life has to suffer. We have to let go of some things. Should we say that is the price to pay to get this thing done? Most times, if should we say, sometimes some people, if that there is a kind of resources some people have, maybe even if there was no light in Syria, they have a constant, let's say, power supply, maybe let's say solar and all of that. They have even the gadgets they use to enhance and improve their work time and all of that. Should we say, if you know that you are kind of not advantaged to some level, the price you pay is to sacrifice some certain things like your social life, like maybe the time you spend in maybe the religious person, the time you spend um, engaging in your religious activity and all of that. Should we say those things have to suffer and the price to pay to gain a level of mastery and if you want to really get some certain things done in any field that you're in is to make sure, like you said, there is no multitasking. The only focus is on that particular thing. So is that this that is the cons and so far, do you think there is any you said it's sad, but deep down, do you feel like okay, the other way around, the result you get is still consoling, is still consoling compared to maybe the things that the things you have lost, like maybe the things you sacrifice to get those results. I don't know maybe what I'm trying to push. Like,
Yeah. Thank you very much. So for people that are not really like opportunity, have the resources to stay logged in. I don't have the opportunity to there is always I am very kind of an optimistic person. I believe that everyone can do better in their work rates in whatever they do. So it is you it is how do I put it? There is always a way to solve every problem. So in that case, there is always a way out. There is always a way out. And to the part of if you want to be good in a particular field you find yourself, you have to start some things. That's what worked for me now. I don't know if it would continue to work for me, but um it is it is something that gives me results. It is something that I get results from. So it might not work for me later, it might work for me, but I'm sharing what works for me now, and which is the ability of doubling down the energy, the time on a particular field you want to grow in, a particular field you want to prosper in. You just don't want to be an average person there. You don't want to be an average musician. You don't want to be an average footballer. You have to do more than what the average people are doing there. And how do you do that? Is the time that you have, the same 24 hours everybody have. You double down. If it is showing up on in the public space, if it is showing up online, if it is either ways that gives you results, a measurable result, you double down on it. And I believe the result is always very much different than the average people in that space. And that's basically how to win.
thank you so much. Doctor. That was a wonderful one. And trust me, I would be very sincere. You really you plant a seed or you really open my eyes to kind of be very helpful dimension how I see a certain thing. No excuse. If you really want to get things done, you can get it done. You know, what's worked for me, you know, works for you. Consistency itself is something you have to learn. You have to, it's not something you play with, and all of that. Honestly, if I check my notes, and it's something I do. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well done.
Thank you very much.
So I don't know if the other persons on this call if they can get. Maybe if they are here, I don't know. I don't know if they can see me fine. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was a wonderful insight. And thank you very much, Matthew. Um, oh, Bettina, welcome. You've actually missed quite a lot of insights, but we usually have uh, items recorded. Oh, you guys, welcome, welcome. You've not missed much. We have the recording there, so you can meet up with you can catch up with the recording on our YouTube channel. Sorry for the background noise. We're actually somewhere called War Room, working on Think Tank, and yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin Israel, and we are excited to have the insight. Special thanks to our valued partners, Outnovately Africa, GDG on campus, Exil, Fueye, and Westy, Mr. Omojua Joseph, Ms. Esther Foloshaw. Thank you all for your invaluable support all the time. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining this call. I believe that we've learned a lot. Standing in for our host, who is unavoidably absent and who will be present next month. This webinar series is hosted every month, every last Thursday of the month, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So thank you very much and do have a wonderful evening. Bye.
Thanks.